all in all, I mean, the Space Station continually a solid squad, but here we go. Schnauzenheiser, Space Station. Ladies and gentlemen, game number 1.
Hit him with the PA system. We love it. Also, Schnauzenheiser didn't have a logo coming in. I know they said they had one on Rizzo's channel, but we just chose a nose. And also overlapping the Schnauzenheiser name because, you know, it's so incredibly long. Way too long.
And we just picked not even a PNG, a fake PNG of a nose to slap it over the scoreboard. So you're welcome, Schnauzenheiser, and that's also what you get.
Oh, man, this is also what you get is Space Station coming right at you, Hoxer, with an absolute bullet. And that passing was something we called out in the pregame. Of course we see it here. And just lighting it up early against Schnauzen, who we know can defend really well. We talked about their high-octane offense. They are capable of making saves as well to that degree. But maybe it's a wake-up call about how fast Space Station wants to play.
Yeah, I mean, less than 30 seconds, they already had an insane pass right down to the net. This one's going to the left side. Gonna have to collect this over towards the corner. Daunt on the back wall, gonna go right underneath him, getting solos. LJ to help clean it up, and Space Station now up 2-0, under a minute in.
My Arsenal just threw a fake, right? You toss yourself. You fake like you're going to flick it over the last man. Instead, you just flip that down to the ground. It serves as a wave dash of sorts, but definitely serves as a fake to throw them off. And looked like they were still crossing their feet there on the back side. Weren't able to adjust accordingly. And they're back down. Also, Spider with the name change, by the way. Typically, actually Spider, but Spida going for a little bit of sass, maybe? T-Var able to get them on the board here. That sass showing up here.
And that's a really good goal to get there just after the Space Station's second comfort goal. You know, as long as you have something other than a 0 on your scoreboard, things seem possible. And now you've kept yourself within 1, moving here into the middle part of the game. And being down 2-1 feels a lot better than being down 2-0. They're within 1, and they're ready to strike again. Arsenal getting up for this one, though. And this is going to go long. Spida coming back for it along this side wall. But T-Var, can he get the shot? It's a little lobbing slow, and it gives the defense time to get back just narrowly.
It was a good idea, right? They're staying downfield. They're looking to cherry pick a little bit, and you can catch Space Station Gaming by doing that. But at the same time, just couldn't convert it quite quick enough. They're still trying to strike again, but you saw how quickly LJ gets out. Hoxer, demo the back line too, but Spine able to make a recovery save, and we'll kick it out the center.
Yeah, and this has been a really good job so far for Schnauzenheiser to kind of reset mentally after the 2 quick goals that Space Station acquired early. And now they're slowing it down, just trying to play their game and not let the speed of Space Station overtake and really let this game get out of hand.
Hoxer looks to settle in corner. Trying to push it forward. That will work its way out. Arsenal left in a bad situation here in the 1v1. Luckily, T-Var peeled off of it and it allows him to clear. Space Station Gaming so quick to jump up in support as well. You'll see that there's not any more than about a split second from when, you know, Schnauzen, whatever you want to call them, gets on it. They're able to really cause chaos. It forces you to make a decision really quickly, and sometimes the wrong decision is made when you have to make a split second decision.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And hopefully, oh, wow, a nice defense there. T-Var going the other direction, but the defense just narrowly in time. Now Daunt, a second opportunity, tries to center. Hawks are going to punch this one way out. Spida there to collect it midfield. Over to T-Var. A nice pass to Spida, but LJ in the way. Perfect timing. Daunt now to the corner.
Good recognition from Daunt on the backside, but didn't I call it out? T-Var on that back wall offensively. He has some of the best passes I think I've ever seen from that nutty angle in order to find somebody in the box. I mean, I've never seen anything like it or anybody try to camp it out like that. Unfortunately, you know, for some of these teams that have seen it before, it can get very readable. So the last thing you want to do is telegraph those, but if you catch them at the right time, it feels pretty good.
Oh my goodness. Hoxter with a great setup, and LJ, perfect timing to slam this one home right over Daunt's head. Look at that. And I mean, Hoxter could have finished it, but LJ, why not make it a team effort?
Oh, absolutely. Is that 3-1 lead here for SSG? I mean, credit Schnauzenheiser. There's a reason why they've made it this far, right? They've played really well in quals. They basically worked their way through. I think they dropped 1 game total in the second days of quals. But now you got Arsenal, and you got SSG to deal with. They're very speedy, such a speedy team, able to get that off the kickoff, draw it up, and just place that one back net.
Yeah, they're looking to, get a little weekend's worth of, spending money here, trying to get past this round of 16. Obviously, they've got to advance past the quarterfinals to get into the cash, but making great efforts here in game number 1 of the round of 16. Up 4-1, just a minute left to go. A demo mid-air. Now, Arsenal to the corner. T-Var over the head. Is there help? There is! Is it too little too late? They're within 2, under a minute.
They've got a chance, there's no doubt, especially the way that they play, which is very aggressive to begin with. I know a lot of teams, when they're trying to come back from a deficit, what you fall into is a pit of trying to play aggressive when that's not your identity. The reason why this team is capable of coming back on SSG is because they're used to being that aggressive anyways, so it's not like you're pulling yourself out of position. Instead, you're really just playing true to yourself, trying to get these last goals to go with 40 seconds left.
T-Var to this corner. Gets by 1. LJ now. He's got 1 to beat, but that 1 is LJ in that defensive effort, going to shut down that transition, and look out. All 3 getting involved here to make it 5-2. And this one's looking like it's going to go to Space Station here in game number 1. Oh my gosh. Beautiful, beautiful.
Little triangle out in front. I used to play hockey, and so that reminded me of the time where you get a 3-on-0 and you just kind of tap it around in practice. And just in case that situation arises, just share it. No, you take it. You have to be a gentleman.
From the Mighty Ducks.
That's right. Exactly. We all know that one. 100%. I don't care if you know hockey or not, you know that. Or Hawkster, right, for that matter. Anyways.
And you know what? That's no fault of Schnauzenheiser's. They essentially, at this phase of the game, have to pull the goalie, right? They're down 2 with that much to go. You've got to do everything in your power to try and get those transitions effectively getting a goal. And Space Station just able to flip that on its head and take game 1.
Game 1 it is. They've got in their back pocket and a 5-2 victory. 5-3 there at the end. I see they got the last one to you. Spider with 2 goals here, set up pretty nicely. I mean, this team didn't go away, which is definitely a sign of a good team. Sticking around with SSG. Like we mentioned, loss of Daniel, maybe not as bad as it seemed on the surface, right? They had a good spring split overall without. I don't believe they got into the Invitational, but they are here in the draw, ready to do some damage. And a game 1 victory is a game 1 victory, whether or not it was a large margin or not.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I mean, it seemed like for the most part, besides those 2 early goals that Space Station was able to get, that Schnauzenheiser, I mean, they played the majority of the game in that 2-1 deficit. They were only 1 down for the majority of the match. And if they're able to continue playing like that, they're playing from behind, but they're playing close and even. If there's no goals being scored, that's a sign of a very even game. And so if they're playing most of the match like that without, once it got late, they needed to start playing a little bit more offensive minded. And unfortunately, that's what got them into trouble again, and let in a couple extra goals from Space Station. So I think if they're able to stick to their game plan, slow it down, don't let any of those kind of easy Space Station goals through, then they can play to this game, a lot closer, I think. It's only a 2-goal deficit. It was more or less 3, kind of a garbage time goal there at the end. But look at this, LJ, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah, instantly on it, right? Hawkster set him up, and he put in the perfect place where LJ was able to get into the air and still force his way back towards the net, right, towards the box, and find some space. So, bada boom, 1-0 here for Space Station right off the bat.
Wasn't even a Space Station goal. That was an LJV3 goal. Just, man, unbelievable ball control there to put that one through, to get this early lead just like game number 1. Now look out, Arsenal to Hawkster. Look out, there you go. Daunt once again trying to put up that defense. And it's important to not let any more bleed through before you're able to get some of your own. We'll see if Schnauzenheiser can then get a little bit of offense going.
T-Var and Spida kind of doing the same things there for a split second, but they were able to figure it out, get back into rotations. And LJ waits in an awkward touch there from Hoxer. That should be somebody from Schnauz. Yep, sure enough, it's Daunt passing over to T-Var. Tried that corner, but both Hoxer and LJ had it shut down anyways. And Spida will look for Daunt. Back downfield they go. T-Var's already up for this one too. This one should waterfall down. Does. But LJ was able to read that one too and tap it away pretty easily. As Arsenal down field already. Looking for the demos and bumps that we've seen from him so often. T-Var looking at a transition flip. Reset. What a save! Arsenal got to that. Reaction time was basically 0.
Oh my gosh, it looked like it was all but written in stone with T-Var coming through. The beautiful flip reset, but Arsenal just shutting that down. And now a little 1v1 situation. T-Var going perfectly to, it was really a 1v1 there. So played the ball into the net, then went for the defender. Let's take another look here. A nice bump out of there. Arsenal almost saved that.
I know. I was about to say that. Like, his recovery speed was unreal. We have Hoxer rejoin. All right, he's back on the pitch, ready to go. A bit awkward there. We saw him leave. But yeah, that was all about Arsenal and his ability to try and get back right. He's got good speed. Unfortunately for him, it just wasn't quite quick enough. And T-Var's 1v1 bump play that we see so frequently in the 1v1 world did work out for him. So, unfortunately, they weren't able to get back. But for Schnauz, you get it.
Let's see if they can sniff out a goal.
Oh, a good one.
Oh, yeah, we're going to make some nose jokes.
That was right on the tip of the tongue. Goodness.
Yeah. Or face jokes, I guess, if you're going to talk about the tongue.
1000%. 1000%. LJ's got Daunt beat. Not T-Var, though. That was a good 50-50 low as well. LJ does come up in support. Arsenal didn't get the touch. He was called off by Hoxer. Forward they go. This will bounce high. Daunt on the back wall. Had to avoid a bump and did a great job to get it to T-Var. They can transition. Yeah,
enough of a lob there to keep it over Arsenal's head, as it for sure would have been a goal. And also that T-Var 50-50 with Arsenal in front of the net. I mean, just staying composed, right? Oh, and LJ, wow, the backwards hit there right in front of the net. Again, I mean, Schnauzenheiser's putting together some offensive sequences that's kind of keeping Space Station on their back foot. And as long as you can continue doing that, it's going to be tricky for Space Station to break this tie that they currently have. Just under 2 minutes left to go in game number 2. Schnauzenheiser holding on to the tie here with Space Station after they had the early lead.
Oh, look at that feed there. Knew that Hoxer was available and sent it right to his car. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to transition it. But T-Var will try to use the 50 to cross. He did, but Hoxer was already up for it. So it'll be off the wall from Spida. T-Var wasn't able to read either. Arsenal already down to Hoxer and LJ. Well, he wasn't able to get much on that except for flip reset that just went right back into the hands of Schnauz.
Bite of the solo man back. LJ doesn't get there in time. That is a breath of relief if you're Schnauzenheiser. And now a great clear from Daunt. Oh, but maybe only momentary relief as the assault from LJ. Oh, just a little bit high to get Space Station the lead. Now T-Var finally getting a big clear, booming clear to the other side. Spida almost getting the net for T-Var to follow up the secondary shot. And Schnauzenheiser have taken the first lead of the series.
Spider, I mean, that was perfect because you play it off the post, and the defenders, whether they're able to get to that bounce or not, they're expecting that one to go in to some degree. Even if it bounces out, you still have the first touch. So it opens up all the options you have as a player. And T-Var was able to choose the best option out of those lists of options, and has given this team a lead. Your SSG did take game 1, but, you know, this is a sleeper team. I know all about this team and how they're able to challenge some of the best. And they've been doing just that here against Space Station Gaming.
Don't gotta win by a lot. You just gotta win by 1. LJ, oh, great shot. But T-Var able to wind precious seconds off the clock here. Now 8 left. Hoxer putting this one back onto the orange side, but a huge clear from Spida to get this one down to 000s, ladies and gentlemen. Schnauzenheiser might be tying this one up, but we haven't hit the ground yet. Arsenal with another effort, Daunt tried to knock it out of his hands. A spike, but a save by LJ, and that's Schnauzenheiser taking home game number 2, 2-1, and tying up the series 1-1. We're going to game 3, and we've essentially reset here now. And now there's a best of 3 on the line for a trip to the round of 8.
See Seabass chilling with us. Seabass, welcome to the stream, buddy. Love what you've done around this scene. Saying that SSG is having some fun. Well, you can't be giving up games in the meantime, right? Right? Maybe they're just that confident, though. I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. But either way, I mean, Schnauzen can do that to you. I know nobody came in here, right, to listen to me talk about Schnauzen as individuals, but I will still do so because you chose to come into my channel, number one. Daunt, one of the best individuals I think I've ever met. T-Var as well, I can say the same. I didn't get a whole lot of chance to meet Spida, but just trusting the fact that T-Var and Daunt alone trust Spida means the world to me as far as how I see these players. So not only great players, but also great people, and able to beat SSG. That's big. I don't know if they've taken a game from SSG and scrims, things like that. So just an interesting storyline nonetheless. To take a game from SSG, that's nothing to shy over, I guess you would say.
Well, they got to take 2 more to take home the series. So we'll see if SSG can rally now to regain the lead in the series. But Schnauzenheiser really coming out firing. They didn't even really have that many shots on goal. I think they were outshot 5-11 or 12 there in game number 2, but every shot mattered, and it was enough to pull them in front of Space Station. And I'll ask you to update the Schnauzenheiser numbers because they have a 1, sir. They have a 1.
Watch this. Watch this. Boom.
They earned it.
I was already on. Let's go. They did earn it. Honestly,
they get 1 nose.
Everybody knows. Oh, shot there from Arsenal. Clean up from T-Var. And both defenses have really dialed in, right? You see them constantly on challenges. There's not a whole lot of space to work with at all. And SSG is not a stranger to the smother of the offense type of style. Although they do give a little bit of room here for Spida. He was looking to sidestep LJ, but he's back on it and has Hawkster out in front. That's an opportunity to double touch. Great touch off the back wall from Don, but LJ will follow up. Spider read and made the save. Man, oh man. Like I said, the defenses continue.
I mean, it just looked like a slowly developing, beautiful play from Space Station. Start out with the great kind of pass over the head by Hawkster. And now look at this, Spida back the other way. Schnauzenheiser with the lead in game number 3 after basically resisting what looked like an incredible play from Space Station. I mean, it looked like they scored a goal, and then Schnauzenheiser had something different to say. Yeah,
it was definitely interesting, to say the least. I think T-Var hit it off his back bumper to set up a teammate. I don't think I've ever seen that before. And maybe he was trying to jump out and get that bump, but you see the physicality just amping up, right? More demos, more bumps, get players out of position. When you have a defensive struggle like we have in front of us, that's definitely the first thing you want to look to. So I respect it completely.
Wow. And LJ seems to be putting incredible shots on the net, but right in those moments, there's somebody challenging him in his shots. They've started to figure out his tempo, right? And LJ obviously putting together some incredible plays, but a nice lobbing pass that was probably going to hit the crossbar, no less, but LJ going to send this one to the corner either way. But Schnauzenheiser's defense starting to
starting to break apart. I'll finish it for you. No, that was just a touch by Arsenal. That's tough to read. And Don looked like he went a little bit too towards the center of the field instead of trying to challenge the edge of the box, and got a little bit away from it. So the one lapse right when you're thinking about how strong they've been, right? Always. Oh, yeah. Always.
I mean, it wouldn't be Rocket League if they weren't going to, shut me up, right? When I'm trying to make a point. I didn't get to my point quick enough. That was the problem. But look at the offense. My gosh, the offense. Starting to fire. Look at this. Spida right by LJ and Hawkser.
Quick boy. Spida really brought a new pace. And, as the Charlotte Phoenix wavy left the team. Spider took over, and it amped up the speed, so it improved the team as a whole. And yet, I still think that Wavy is better off as well. Like, both parties really won. Both Wavy and this Daunton T-Var combination are better because of it. Because we all knew that they were grinders. When we were at the Charlotte Phoenix set, 100% knew that these players were on it. And Dawn is on it again. 3-1 now as Spacestation Gaming starting to sweat a little bit. We see it coming down their armpits, dripping down a little bit because they've got a real challenge here, Xander.
Well, you're talking about Wavy. I mean, he's playing with the Egoist this tournament.
That's right.
Already through to the round of 8. 3-0.
No shot. What?
Yes, sir.
I don't think they had like an Optic Gaming or a Furia to go up against, but yeah, it's still incredible.
They had the homies.
Dude, that team I saw yesterday, I literally had them on my channel. So that's a 3-0. Holy.
Oh, yeah.
Love to see that. Love seeing that.
Okay, well, just when you think Schnauzenheiser's starting to get a nice little comfy lead, here comes Space Station. Look out. It's 3-3.
That was so quick. 2 goals, 2 seconds. And
we changed the subject for just a moment, and Space Station has tied it up.
It's like Hawkser knew. Like, he knew. He's studying film. There's no other way, because off that kickoff, you saw the Schnoz try to cheat up on this too, and yet again, Arsenal back to work. That's 2 goals from him, and he's also got 2 assists. I mean, just all over the place. Arsenal has been incredible, and you blink, and it went from 3-1 to 3-4. That's insane.
That's insane. That's what I was just going to say. I mean, that's how quickly Space Station starts to ring together a couple of goals. And Schnauzenheiser was doing such a good job shutting down their offense for quite some time, but just letting a couple key moments go by. And Space Station strikes 3 times in that short amount of time. Look out, Daunt with an opportunity. Hawkser, though, going to punch this one well away. T-Var going to have to also defend immediately. Now, with 1 minute and 30 seconds left, Schnauzenheiser are the ones looking for the rally goal to try and tie this one up.
And OJ's already up. Look for the double. Oh, it's on the goal line. Can they get to it? Spider does, and was able to dig it out. Oh, that would have been an insane goal. But they're still able to stand strong on the other end, and back out they go. And now you can't lose focus just because you had an incredible opportunity on the other side. SSG's got to stay awake here.
Gosh, Schnauzenheiser, though, I mean, yes, the goal would have been incredible. It bounced halfway across the goal line for a good 3-4 seconds. And finally, Schnauzenheiser able to punch this one away. They cannot squander the great defensive opportunity they just got. Now, just needing 1 goal, 37 seconds left on the clock, but they also can't overcommit and give Space Station an opportunity to get a comfort goal here. They've got to play reserved aggression in the waning seconds of game number 3.
Look at T-Var in that touch. That's off the ceiling. And Don will challenge that to the 50-50 into Spider, but Hawks are rather able to jump on that. As T-Var now back out, plays high. They saw that Arsenal was already up, so they stayed down themselves, but that's going to launch to their zone. Not where you want to be with 10 seconds left. And Don sends it. T-Var trying to get that next touch, but Space Station Gaming is just going to play this across. Spider can't do much. With that, SSG will get their second win here of this best of 5 and move to match point.
I cannot believe how quickly that game completely flipped on its head. The control that Schnauzen was pulling off there. I mean, their shots, I think they had 8 shots in that game. For the most part, controlling the tempo really, really well. And unfortunately for them, Space Station just able to string together 3 quick goals and ultimately taking home game number 3 and now a match point, up 2-1 in this series. Schnauzenheiser now needing to win back-to-back matches to advance. So Space Station sitting in a pretty position of their, I think it was like from minutes, it was like 2.5 minutes to like 1:50. They scored 3 goals. It was like, bah, bah, bah.
Yeah, it was Arsenal was a big part of it too. They had a couple of kickoff goals that Schnauzen just can't let in. Otherwise, they're going to be in trouble. And they drop that game, they're already in trouble, right? Backs against the wall here in game number 4. We get a Forbidden Temple now for this game number 4. Cost 5 minutes on the clock, a chance for SSG to close out. And Schnauzen, you get 60 seconds, you know, to between games to maybe take a man-made timeout, if you will. It's not, or like a natural timeout between games, and they chose that they wanted to dive right back in it. The whole team readied up, so they know that they've made a few mistakes that they can clean up. They don't have anything really to discuss except for let's keep playing the way that we're playing to make SSG nervous for some of the 5 minutes that we've seen in every single game so far.
Yeah, I think you don't really need to adjust too much. That's a great way to put it. I mean, there's there's a few things like maybe potentially opening up for a pretty easy goal, but the defense was just playing it slow, I was noticing. So great opportunities abound for Schnauzenheiser to get back in this series. If we could see a Game 5, I would be so happy. But we'll see what Space Station has to say about that.
We shall see. Spida's going to leave that B as T-Var was in the box, and somehow Spida got back to that one. He was definitely not the one in rotation to get it next, I feel like, but he was still prepared and in the game, right? He didn't become a spectator, jumped out and got an extra opportunity for the Schnoz, but right back to it is Space Station as they will clear the zone. But they haven't shown true possession here, though, as Spida is allowed the chance to just jump back out, get a demo. And we play back and forth. Don tries to settle, beat Hoxer. So on to this side while it goes. It'll be T-Var back out front. Daunt is already up there. Maybe would have been better off looking for a bump on LJ. Maybe he knew that he didn't have the boost to challenge it. So either way, it's a 50-50 battle here at midfield.
Yeah, it's interesting. You kind of mentioned there hasn't really been, possession. I mean, honestly, yeah, there hasn't been any true possession, no sustained offensive measures from either team. It's kind of been clear battle, 1v1, clear. So we'll see if Daunt now putting this one in the corner. Spida going to be back along the wall. T-Var has to get back, and that's a great shot from the left side to the right side of the goal. Oh my goodness, the transition. Hoxer to LJ, and then right by Spida. Spida was looking and assuming that one's going to be left side of the net. But no, Arsenal had other plans. Incredible stuff.
That is one of the toughest, most underrated, saves if you can make it, right? If you're able to make that save. But now you see them strike right back, though. So before I even get one thought off, Spida says, we want to hang in here. We worked our way through 2 days of quals. And the last thing we want to do is give away this one in a matter of 4 games. So they've equalized here. 2:42 on the clock. Looks a lot better. Feels a lot better. Because we know how much it can feel like you're chasing a game when it's match point against and you're down by a goal. That was a very timely goal, to say the least, by Spida.
That's a great point that you made, in that they're not one of these fancy invite teams, right? They've worked for this position to be in the top 16 of this tournament. And now, yeah, they don't want to give up this opportunity to make a little bit of cash and some bragging rights, potentially. If they're able to get into the cash, it means they've advanced through Space Station and one of either G League or Digital. I probably have an update for who won that match. It will be G League who wins that match, so we know who they'd be facing off against in round of 8. But it's 1-1, and they've got work to do.
They do. They've got to find a way around. You see SSG just constantly playing and being that midfield presence. But at the same time, they have space here. And Arsenal was able to read it, though. Daunt finds Hoxer, clearing it right back out. Daunt needed a touch, but he missed it. This one will bank off. The ceiling back down here. At least it was an attempt to do so. It's back out the center, though, as Arsenal will get the flip reset. And caught Daunt by surprise there with that extra ability to flip into it. The 50-50 game still favors the Schnoz, as a couple of them are out in front, but LJ will eventually get to it. Not the touch or clear he wants, but Hoxer's got a couple he's got to get around, and Daunt will just play it sideways. SSG back on it now. It's Spida. Waiting for a challenge here. LJ again, not the best touch, as SSG hasn't played a very clean series. I mean, this has definitely not been their cleanest. And whether chat, is saying that they're messing around or not, it doesn't matter. It's game time now. You have a chance to close out. The last thing you want to do is allow this team, this Schnoz team, to play into 5 games.
That's right. Mess around in scrims, right? And I still haven't seen any clear pitch control from either squad in the last couple of minutes. Is like you said, 50-50s abound here at midfield. They're just going back and forth, and finally a shot from Spida, but Hawks are able to swat that one away, no problem. But now to the corner, trickle down, and Spida there to clean it up. 22 seconds left to go, and Schnauzenheiser taking the lead here late.
We talked about clutch goals. We talked about timely goals and how SSG had them, right? They had to come back from a big deficit to even win the last game and take it to match point. And now, with just 20 seconds left, it's SSG left chasing. As LJ does get flip reset, glued to his car there with an extra opportunity with the air drag, but eventually the last member of Schnauz able to get back to it. As Hoxer tried to find Arsenal cut off by T-Var. Hoxer, again, last chance, down to 3 seconds. LJ beat by Dawn out to midfield. Arsenal turns, waits. LJ couldn't get there this one. Still up in the air as Hoxer got to it. Challenge is done. Now Spida back wall in full control. Tries to kill it, but Arsenal will keep it alive. LJ back down to Arsenal. He'll have to play it off the corner, but it hits the ground. Schnauz will bring us to 5.
Oh my gosh, I thought for sure after that Spida had put one through at 22 seconds left on the clock. We got down to 1 second left, keeping it up in the air at all costs. And SSG's control and composure late in that game, and basically what I call overtime. It's still regulation technically, because the game's not going to end until that ball hits the ground. But oh my gosh, I thought every single moment when that ball was trickling down towards the ground, guess what? It was trickling towards the ground in front of the net, waiting for somebody to punch that one in. And I thought for sure SSG was going to pull that off. But now, we got game 5, ladies and gentlemen.
5.
I didn't catch all of that. I think you peeked there for a second, but we love the effort you put into that announcement. There it is. There it is. Much better. Now we can actually get to the pitch, okay?
Sorry, I'll work on my peeking.
Oh, 100%.
I'm too excited. Game 5, man.
Xander's known to peek in-game as well.
You haven't watched me play.
Not Rocket League, but maybe other games. League of Legends, is that what you play? I forget
I
it.
play a lot of games. Omega Strikers, you know.
Love to hear that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Trying to
Timo.
spread the gospel. Oh my god.
No shot. No
The
shot.
timely demo and Spida. Look at this. Let's take another look as Daunt paves the way. LJ and Arsenal left a little bit awkward there in the corner, and Spida punching it through for the early lead here in Game 5 against Space Station Gaming.
I apologize you had to see the player names at the bottom of the screen while that was going in. But yeah, that's impressive, though. The Schnauz sticking around. For me, I'm wondering, SSG, they haven't scored in a very long time. I mean, Schnauz has been the team to beat currently, and never thought I would mention those words here against SSG, that is. I mean, I know this team is tough to beat, and LJ said no more. We have to equalize right now. This is getting out of hand. We had an upper hand. We want it back.
Yeah, caught between a rock and a hard place there. The final defender, Schnauzenheiser, in the net, just waiting for either one of two Space Station players to punch that one through. And you know what? You can't always pick right. And oftentimes you're kind of stuck in between decisions, and they just have their pick of the net. So really nice job from Space Station to take their time with that one, right? And get one through for the equalizer. 4 minutes left to go. We got a lot of Rocket League left.
Like the fact that Spida was able to jump out and get that challenge. Don thought that he had to go up defensively there a moment ago. But you had full support from your boy. Now T-Var back up. Touches off the corner, was trying a leading pass here from Spida. It does land, but so does LJ. Forced to get across and make that save to begin with. And T-Var. When I asked Don, when he's with the Charlotte Phoenix, what are some words to describe T-Var? Well, Arsenal going to get one back before we get that thought off. So 2-1 now. They take the lead, 3:16 left, looking more like the SSG that we thought would be coming out here in the first place. Maybe chat's right. They were just trying to extend some viewership, Xander.
Sure. Sometimes it be like that.
I'll rewind to my previous thought. He called T-Var 3 words to describe T-Var, and it was maniac, psychopath in the air, or something like that. So, and it's true.
More than 3.
Yes, very much so. Yeah, I get it. That wasn't the exact words. Like I'm paraphrasing, is what I'm trying to say.
Sure.
Either way, we got the Schnauz looking to get one back here on SSG, who has the upper hand now.
Might have been playing such a good offensive series, really keeping this team in the series at all. So it's going to come down to how many blocks they can get against this really, really powerful Space Station offense, and then how quickly they can transition and give Spida an opportunity. And this one just going a little bit right of him in midfield. Hoxer to the corner. Now Daunt, a really nice block there. Now Tivar, Spida along the left wall. Tivar getting it past Hoxer, but Arsenal still a man to beat. And now Daunt on an island against LJ and Arsenal. Help coming, and just in time.
Yeah, Daunt just stalled long enough for Spida to get back, and he was in an awkward spot himself. There was nobody that was in a good spot from the Schnauz, yet they somehow are able to stay alive and keep it close. That's until you have a mishap there defensively. Oh, you can't let that one go in like that if you're Schnauz. And SSG, Hawks are not going to find a goal much easier than that, to be honest.
Yeah, that one was tricky because it's coming back over your head is a really nice touch. And it's one of the most difficult defensive plays to make as it's coming back over your head. You want to keep eyes on the ball, but you also aren't necessarily purely aware of where your goal line is as well. So you're not sure when you need to be making that block, how well you can hit it up against the crossbar to punch it back out. Really, really tricky situation, but a nice job by Space Station to get that comfort goal. And now up 3-1, minute and 22 seconds left to go here in game 5.
Need a goal very quickly to feel like you're still with a chance. They played so strong throughout this best of 5. They really have. And so, see a minute left. You don't feel like it's completely out of hand yet. You don't feel like it's completely finished. Unless you're an SSG fan chilling in here. You're like, oh yeah, it's over. Dude, we knew it all along. Don't at me. Spida will look to settle down. He had Hoxer right in his face, though. So couldn't do much with it, but Daunt right back down. He's looking for Spida downfield, but Hoxer read it all the way. The anticipation from SSG, a lot stronger here in this game number 5, but what is saved to keep it alive, at least for Schnauz. As that was the biggest save. If that one goes in, it's game over. And it might be very soon here, but Tivar in the transition. He's got an opportunity. What a shot. Another save from Hoxer. As that one, Tivar's got to feel so bad. He did everything right except score because Hoxer took it away. But now out in front, LJ again a read. They shut down multiple opportunities. And for Schnauz, you feel like it's over at that point. You had such good opportunities. Or is it? There's Tivar, far post. They couldn't find it. Oh, there was so many opportunities. But the nose has been broken and is bleeding. The nosebleed continues. SSG will be moving on to the next round in 5.
Everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the face, and SSG just punched them right in the face there late. I mean, if there's anything to say about how Space Station played throughout the series, it shows why they're the better team there at the end of that game, right? Like you said, so many incredible opportunities for Schnauzenheiser to punch one through, and they just held strong. I mean, and it was like right at the goal line, just punching out. You had Hoxer, you had LJ make both incredible saves, and congratulations to them for moving forward to the round of 8.
100%. Like you mentioned, they're going to face off with G-League, who also won their matchup in 5. Actually, no, they won't be. Remember, it's the draw. What are we talking about? We totally forgot. They're going to draw more names out of hats.
Yeah, you're right. I'm just looking at this. I'm looking at this bracket over here, and I totally forgot. This is such a...
Chat, you didn't even correct us once, by the way. What are we all doing here? I'm just kidding. We appreciate you being here. Yeah, SSG. Just wanted to look out for my bid for partner, right? They said average viewership matters in that and determines that, so they just wanted to play it out till 5. Nah, I don't think so. I think the Schnauz actually showed up to play. Love Daunt and Tivar. Against Spida makes that team very effective too. They gave him a shot, right? SSG, they were sweating a little bit. As much as they don't want to admit it, I guarantee you they were.
They were down in game 5. Just saying. So, yeah, they might have been sweating a little bit.
Just a tad. Just a tad.